one? Let's do it. All right, here we go.
Wow, that was gorgeous. Yes, give them a hand, those songbirds. Woo-hoo. Grand Rising, beloved. My name is Judy Chapman. I am your assistant minister, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley in beautiful, cool San Clemente. Yes, I'm delighted that you're all here this morning. I have something to share. So, I've been off the last 3 or 4 days, a little off. Really didn't know quite what was going on. And we had meditation this morning. And I realized what it was. You know, I don't know if you watched the news, but, you know, in Northern California, starting in Chico, there's a tremendous, outrageous monster fire. It's gotten to 350,000 acres. It's burning all the way up to Mount Lassen, Shasta, and now it's encroaching upon Lake Almanor, where our family cabin is. And, you know, it burnt 3 years ago in the Dixie Fire. But that wasn't what came to me in the meditation was we're all connected. We say it all the time. We are one. We are one with this divine energy. We are one with this power. We are one with this intelligence, with all of God's creation. So my heart, during meditation, realized that I'm thinking about all those animals, all the animals that are perishing in this terrible, terrible fire. Now, we have lost 2 pilots. 2 men have died trying to, you know, do the fire. So thinking of them. But I'm thinking of all those little souls leaving the planet. So I finally realized how I've been off. That was it. So we can say a prayer for that. And 3 years ago, when the fires were there, I asked the congregation to put a bubble of protection over Lake Almanor, and it worked. There was a 20-mile radius that didn't burn. So I'm asking you again. So pray up, everybody. Put up for all those people. The people in Paradise have evacuated again. They were burned out, as you know, before. Now they're evacuating again. So it's a pretty outrageous fire. So we are one. And I wanted to read this morning just a portion of what we used to read, a portion of our Declaration of Principle. It pretty much tells who we are. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to create health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. I love our declaration. I love it. So we're going to start this morning with our flames of faith, like we start every Sunday morning, to remember who we are. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience that we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and honoring the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as our practitioner, Kathy Story, lights that last candle, please let it represent the path that brought you to this service this morning. Now, please join me for 2 minutes of sacred silence.
as we stay in the silence, we remember. I remember who and whose I am and what I'm here to do. I know that there is only one source, one life, one love. And this power, it is infinite, it is eternal. Its nature is our nature. We are embodied and animated by this one source. And I know that we are here on divine purpose today. We chose to be here, to be in community, to lean into community, to love each other, to see each other, to be who we are. And so I know this unfolds perfectly. I know that God is in the house, for we are here. And so I just simply say thank you. Thank you for Reverend Dr. Alice, who reloads God today. She's the portal through which God speaks. And the music that embodies the message as we open our hearts and our minds. We're here to love, learn, to serve, and to remember who we are. And so I anchor this prayer in love. As I simply release this, I cast this forth. And if you agree with me, please say, and so it is. And please join me in part of the global vision. We see a world that works for all, where people live according to spiritual truth, where unity and connection are emphasized, where people have enough food, homes, and a sense of belonging, and where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. Can you take that in? Wow. And let's do today's affirmation. I embrace imperfection and accept all of myself. And so it is.
Thank you, Kathy. Oh, it is my great joy to bring back to our platform. We haven't heard her for a while, and we're so grateful that you're here. Please welcome Kristen Lee Allred.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Ooh, it's so nice to see your smiling faces again. It's nice to be back performing for you. This is a little song I wrote called Shooting Star, so hope you like it. Hope you want to get out of your seats and shake it a little bit. I know you can do it. I've seen it before. How can you shine when you're treated like a stone out in this crazy world on your own? Don't you know that the haters gonna hate, 'cause that's what they do? But you are fierce and you are strong. You have the power all alone. Take a breath, go easy on yourself and keep pushing through. You do you do. No one can do it like you do. You do you do. No one can do it like no one can do it like you. Do you do. No one can do it like you do. You do you do. Don't you know that you're a shooting star? Hear all the songs you know by heart. There's no way to measure just how beautiful you are. If you could see how bright you glow, stop seeking validation from the status quo. You're a diamond in your own backyard. So much to discover, a kaleidoscope of color. All the dreams you have inside, closer than you realize. I see the light in you, 'cause I see it shining in me too. We only get one life, we only get one chance. Let's kick off our shoes and dance. If life is a journey and we are all seekers, take the technique, bust it out the speakers. If life is a journey and we are all seekers, take the technique, bust it out the speakers. Don't you know that you're a shooting star? Hear all the songs you know by heart. There's no way to measure just how beautiful you are. If you could see how bright you glow, stop seeking validation from the status quo. You're a diamond in your own backyard. we're here to vibe and thrive, and the truth is nobody's getting out alive. So why we act so serious? Why the heck can't we learn to trust? I know intuition isn't always clear. You are the moon and all of the stars, so don't quit now. You've come so far. Everything is unfolding so perfectly. You gotta just believe. Oh, come on, let's take it. Don't you know that you're a shooting star? Hear all the songs you know by heart. There's no way to measure just how beautiful you are. Ooh, if you could see how bright you glow, stop seeking validation from the status quo. You're a diamond in your own backyard. Come on, sing it with me. You, no one can do it like you do. You, no one can do it like, no one can do it like you. No one can do it like you do. Thank you so much. How about it for this fabulous band?
Thank you so much, Kristen. That was just great. Woo! That was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, folks, here we go. Grand Rising. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much to our musicians who add so much to our Sunday morning experience. Yeah, aren't we blessed by this beautiful spiritual family that we get to spend every Sunday morning with, and sometimes Wednesday, and sometimes Monday, and sometimes Friday. We have lots of things going on. Whew. My name is Dr. Alice Reid, and I am the spiritual leader here at this community, and I'm really happy to be with you here today. We have been, well, before I get into that, I love our new website. We have things that start at 6 o'clock, we have things that start at 7 p.m., we have things that start at 6:30, and it's so easy. I was here Friday night, and I wanted to grab some dinner before our curtain, and so I just went to the website, clicked on the events link, and there was the time, and it's a beautiful list. It's so different than your last experience. So if you've not been to our website lately, check it out. It's informative. It really is informative now. So thank you, Pam. Thank you, Mary, our web mistress, Deb Foley, our wonderful prior architect, Francie Kennedy. We did a lot of work over a long period of time, and it's really useful now. So just check it out. Check it out. Okay, I can take this note off my note. Yeah, I just wanted to share my joy with that. We are talking this month about the oh boy, give me the slide. What's the monthly theme? Practice makes imperfect. Practice makes imperfect. And we've been looking at imperfection and perfection all month. And today we're looking at how practicing imperfection really can be an expansive experience. I was noticing all the buzz around the Olympics, right? There's been some really amazing things going on. People are really excited. They're coming together. And I was thinking how perfect it is that every year when we have a presidential election, we also have the Olympics happening at the same time. And the politics that seem to, get very competitive and divide us are like antithetical to the Olympics, which is also a competitive event, but that seems to unite us. Right, is that cool? Like, can you see what I'm talking about? Like, here we have this thing called competition, and we have very different experiences with it in these different venues, these different contexts. And it reminds me of our philosophy where we teach this idea that the experiences that we have are very dependent upon the landscape we create for those experiences through our consciousness, through our thinking, through our feeling, through the choices that we always have. When I first came to this philosophy, I had done quite a bit of spiritual practice. I had worked with many different philosophies, doctrines. I had really been doing my searching work for many years, and when I finally showed up in a Science of Mind center, I learned something that none of the other doctrines were able to give me, and that was that my thoughts did not rule me. I ruled them. And I didn't learn that anywhere else, not even in the school. I really thought that I was I was going to use the word victim, but that's not the right word. I just really thought I was at the mercy of my thoughts. And when I came to this philosophy, I learned that I could choose what I wanted to think. I could direct my thinking in a way that was abundant and generous and loving. And I could use my values to bring it all together. And so when we look at this idea of competition, I want you to make note of that as we move through the rest of this election process, that that same competition is happening at the Olympics, and it's beautiful, and it's powerful, and it's connecting, and it's uplifting. Gosh, what if we could have that experience around our politics? I just stop. I know, I know where you're going. Like, no way is what we're thinking. But why not? Why not? It's possible. It's totally possible. But I think it's dependent upon the individuals that were, and the type of mindset or consciousness they bring to it, right? These athletes bring a mindset to the Olympics of fair play and rooting for each other and, of course, wanting to win, but also really respecting each other, respecting the sport, respecting the very, what it really means to be an Olympian athlete shoulder to shoulder with people that you might be competing with. It's a beautiful ideal and an example of that we could follow. I was thinking about this topic, and I was remembering when Jeffrey, my teacher, Jeffrey Proctor, Dr. Jeffrey Proctor, and he told me the story about being somewhere, and he saw this fella with a tattoo on his arm, and it was on his forearm, and it was in big letters. Tattoos are forever, right? And it was in big letters, and it said, impermanence. Think about that. It's a permanent tattoo, impermanence. Impermanence. And I was thinking about that because so much of what we experience feels heavy and thick and permanent and real, and yet everything we experience changes. Everything we move through changes. Everything we think changes at some point or another. And there's a lot of concern and spinning out in the universe, and people are engaged and passionate, or maybe you're over it already. People are scared, and some people are really certain, and everything in between. And yet these conditions that we're witnessing out in the world are impermanent. And I'm remembering, I want to bring back that quote I used a couple of weeks ago from A Course in Miracles, because it speaks to this, and speaks volumes, actually. The Course writes, We are not human beings seeking a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings who think we're having a human experience. We're spiritual beings who are so convinced that we're having a human experience that we have lost touch with our spiritual nature. We have completely immersed ourselves in the condition of being a human being, and yet it's impermanent. It is an impermanent state of being. And if you've been paying attention, if you're new to our community, welcome. If you've been paying attention to what's been going on in our community, we've really stepped up our spiritual practice in a lot of different ways. Our ministers and practitioners, our whole ecclesiastical leadership team has been studying Emma Curtis Hopkins together. And so we've been really deepening our roots to this teaching by working with Emma Curtis Hopkins. And then the other things that are happening, we're visioning every Tuesday morning. It's a small but mighty group. We're doing that spiritual practice. We're doing kirtan, which is just chanting, once a month. We're also doing yoga twice a week, where we have individuals who have the opportunity to really get in touch with their body temple. And we're also doing these amazing sound bath healings once a month. And all of that is working collectively in our community. It's working on us individually, but it's also working on us collectively. And I'm finally starting to feel some of the results of that. I'm feeling, if you are a practitioner of this teaching, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like I have stepped into a slipstream and that everything is in order, even when it doesn't look like it's in order, perfectly imperfect. I have difficult people I have to deal with. I have difficult decisions I have to make. I have things that are all happening at the same time, and yet it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like effort. And it really is the result of spiritual practice. It really is the result of creating what Ernest Holmes called a mental equivalent. And he has a whole chapter that is dedicated to that mental equivalent. So I want to read a little bit of that to you. Sometimes when I'm looking for inspiration, I just pop open the book, and I always find exactly what I need. Because Ernest Holmes talks about the mental equivalent, but he also brings it into context of faith. And if you are, if you were brought up in another faith, if you were brought up in another spiritual tradition, oftentimes faith is referred to as, I think sometimes it gets mixed up with hoping and wishing, but not here. When we talk about faith, we're not talking about hoping or wishing or having, happy thoughts that we hope will happen. When we're working with faith, we're really working with that power that makes the grass grow, that understanding that there is a creative process that we are always using, that is always looking for an outlet, and we have the opportunity to be that outlet. So Ernest Holmes says this: "No class of people on earth believes more in prayer than we do. Our whole theory is based not only on the belief in spirit, but in the availability of it, its immediate response. We even go so far as to say in everyday language, pray right, and God cannot help responding. This is as far as anyone can go in faith." He goes on to say, faith is the power of prayer. And you may ask, what is faith? When you analyze faith, you find that it is a mental attitude against which there is no longer any contradiction. I'm going to say that again. You find it is a mental attitude against which there is no longer any contradiction in mind that entertains it. So when we're talking about faith, we're talking about embodying a belief, We're talking about embodying and understanding about how the universe works and how it works in tandem with our human condition. And so if I go back to that example of the Olympics versus politics and the two things they have in common are competition, what happens is we have this embodied faith about the Olympics, don't we? We have this embodied faith that in the Olympics, the Olympians will, respect each other and they will do their best and we'll have pride in all the winners and the losers. And what's the embodied faith we have around politics? Yeah, I don't think we have the same embodied faith around and the politics that we experience. Now, I grant you there's a lot of evidence that has built that mindset in our country. It didn't happen by accident. It wasn't sort of something that happened overnight. We've nurtured that idea. We've fed it. We have believed in it. We've leaned into it, that there are winners and the losers are just inconsequential. There's a lack of respect. So when we look at this idea of a mental equivalent, what I want to encourage you to do is to look at the thoughts that you're carrying. I know it is not an easy task. I can't tell you how many times I see a bumper sticker for something that opposes what I currently believe around political ideas, and something in me gets, ew. And then I remember. Reverend Judy, I really appreciate your opening this morning around thinking about all the animals that are experiencing the consequences of that fire. It's that kind of mindfulness when we think past the issue, when we think past the concern, when we think past the knee-jerk reaction to what it is we really want to experience. This philosophy will support you in that. It will support you in creating a different experience around, and it may be, this is what happens for me. I change my mind, and there's a lot of people that don't change their mind, and they have a different experience from me. It's a completely different experience, I guarantee you. And when they share their different experience with me, I don't argue with them. I simply say, that's really not my experience. And I continue to build the mental equivalent about the world, a world that works for everyone. That probably sounds like a pretty airy, fairy line, doesn't it? How can the world work for everyone? Well, look at the Olympics again. There are many examples in this world that you will find. Some of them are very small. You have to look for them. You have to help create them. You have to lean into them. You have to change your thinking around what you're experiencing. If you want to experience love and connection, then that needs to be where you operate from. We live in a perfectly imperfect world. And all the imperfections that we see around us are opportunities. They're opportunities for us to acknowledge the imperfection and then to move our minds in a different direction. I know that the world demands a lot of us. There's bills to pay, there's challenges that we have in relationships, there's work that we have to deal with. There's lots of challenges. And every single one of them, you can meet with a mindset of how you want to experience it. Recently, we in Centers for Spiritual Living, many of you know that I am the chair of the Leadership Council, which is effectively the board of trustees for our entire international movement. And we have a group that works with our spiritual leader, who is my colleague and helps me lead our organization. who works with a group called the I always get the S's backwards. It's the spiritually motivated, socially engaged community. So that's yeah, I know, you won't be able to repeat it. Let me try one more time. I just call it the SMSE, right? SMSE is the spiritually motivated social engagement. And so, there seems to be, our movement seems to be changing a little bit, and some people aren't real happy with it. They're sort of like, wait a minute, I thought all I had to do was pray. I thought all I had to do was change my mind. We have a beautiful spiritual vision of a world that works for everyone. And one of my favorite quotes, and I believe it's Socrates, he was asked by his student, how do I get to Mount Olympus? And Socrates simply responded, make sure every step is in that direction. And so when we talk about social engagement, we're not talking about doing something other than consciousness. We're talking about consciousness in motion. We're talking about being engaged in the world like those athletes, knowing the highest and the best for each one, knowing that there's a different way we can experience it because it lives in you. Even if you are vaguely aware of it, it lives in you. And so this just came out from the SMSE, easier to say, and it was in our newsletter. If you're not getting the international organization's newsletter, it's chock full of wisdom and inspiration. And so this statement just came out, and I want to read it to you. We stand for people, peace, and love. And they quote Ernest Holmes, find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of his soul. I'll read that one more time because it's a powerful quote. Find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of their soul. The statement goes on to say, Ernest Holmes suggests that any time we fight or resist something, we only cause it to grow and fester. However, what we resist persists, and more discord could result. Humans tend to take sides in conflicts, creating stories about which side is right and which side is wrong based on their personal beliefs. When this happens, there's no room to see nuance, and we fail to understand suffering is not limited to just one side. Rather than declaring what we are against, let us be firm about what we stand for. We stand for people. All people have the right to exist in freedom, to have a home, to have food, and to walk safely to school. All people have the right to live in peace and harmony. All people have the right to self-determination. We stand for peace, the power of the heart of the divine source. We visualize peace in the world. We can see peaceful activities in all parts of the world. We can create a spiritual chain reaction for peace. We stand for love. Love is compassionate, kind, forgiving, and holds no rancor. Love is the all-encompassing power for good in the universe. We stand for something. We do not stand by and do nothing. We can engage in the most powerful practice of all, affirmative prayer, to create the atmosphere to work toward what we stand for. Affirmative prayer is not inaction, ignorance, or spiritual bypass. However, prayer is not enough. We must also act in the world to create positive change. To create a world that works for all, we must understand the world, not hide from it. Let's partner with organizations doing good work in the world and educate ourselves on global issues. Holmes wrote that when praying, everyone must bring themselves to a place in mind where there is no misfortune, no calamity, no accident, no trouble, or no confusion. Where there is nothing but plenty, peace, power, life, and truth. We offer these powerful 5-step spiritual practice of sacred activism. 1, We sit in the stillness, in the silence, and allow our thoughts and emotions to bring up the intense feeling of love. 2, we stay with this feeling of love until it envelopes our being. 3, we engage our imagination and see this energy of love surrounding those places where it is needed. 4, we express gratitude for the love and peace that is now present in our world. And 5, we turn this love and gratitude into action in ways that bring about positive change. Let us affirm together, I am a vessel of peace and love. I choose to radiate compassion, understanding, and kindness in all my interactions. My heart is open, my mind is calm, and my spirit is at peace. I attract love, harmony, and unity into my life. I spread these gifts to those around me. I am rooted and grounded in love. That is our invitation today, to be rooted and grounded in love, to know that truth of our spiritual beingness, to recognize that we forget that when we get so wrapped up in our human beingness, that there is something larger than you in the moment with whatever is in front of you that may seem insurmountable. You don't have to try to move through that alone. Reverend Judy again gave a great example of something that was heavy on her heart. And she brought it to us and she offered it up for us to lift up, to have a wonderful healing prayer around all the displaced animals and wildlife. We can do that with any situation where we can pull together. My mentor always liked to say, there was the power of the 2 or more. We can always remember that there is power in the 2 or more. When 2 or more come together in the name of love, when 2 or more come together in the name of beauty, when 2 or more come together in the name of understanding, we can create a different experience. We start with ourselves, and then we radiate that outward. That is our philosophy in its next generation, taking the power and the presence of all these beautiful principles and walking them out into the world in whatever works for you. You don't have to march or protest. Some of us work in consciousness. Some of us work within systems. Some of us work outside the systems, pushing the systems. But let's know that this experience that we're having in this political landscape can be different. We may not see the results right away, kind of like the spiritual practice we've been doing all year, and suddenly I began to see the results of it. But if we continue to put one foot in front of the other and continue to walk in the direction of our vision, we will get there. Thank you very much. Well, I don't know if I can do much better than that beautiful prayer from our SMSC group, but I'm going to go ahead and ride the wave of that and share a prayer with us right now. So if you'll just lower your gaze or close your eyes and join me in this spiritual practice of affirmative prayer, knowing with me that the power and the presence of the one mind and the one heart that is forever imbuing itself, forever pouring itself into all life, is everywhere present. It doesn't experience loss. It doesn't experience limitation. It just is. And so knowing that this power and this presence, this immutable life force that makes the grass grow and breathes our body and pumps blood through our heart and all the experiences that we have in the world, knowing that there is some place within that is deeply spiritual, deeply abiding, deeply powerful. And as we recognize ourselves in that power, I know for each one that our minds are opened and our hearts are opened and we know exactly what is ours to do. We start in love. We start with the idea of joy, of beauty, of all those beautiful God qualities, and we allow our hearts to guide us. And I trust in this power and this presence. I know that it always shows up. It always delivers. And so I claim right now a deliverance for each one, regardless of whatever you're experiencing, knowing that we are each lifted up, that we carry each other, that we hold each other, that we know the connectedness that we have with one another. As we move through what may seem like difficult times, the truth is we are one. And I celebrate that. I celebrate that with my whole heart and my whole body. I know this for myself. I know this for each one, that there is no other. That we continue to look in the mirror of humanity, in the mirror of the world, and we continue to see ourselves reflected back. This is true power. I'm grateful for it. I recognize it. I lift it up, and together we say, and so it is. So I want to thank you so much, and so I want to invite back up our band and our wonderful musician today, Kristen.
I'm excited to hear about all those activities going on. I'd like to join some, definitely. So this is a song, I'm creating a record right now called Messy and Magical. And it's going to be done at the end of the year. And this is one of the songs from that record, Messy and Magical. It's called Little Things. This cosmic sea that we're all swimming, there's no end and no beginning. We just try to do the best we can. Find the magic in our morning coffee, sweet words that are whispered softly, and the golden light of summer on your skin. Like a movie, it can pass us by. These little things that make us feel alive. Picking wildflowers, swimming in the ocean. Laughing at nothing, living for the moment. Dancing wild and free in my bare feet, singing along to the songs on the radio. It's the little things that mean the most. Sometimes we can take for granted all the seeds that we have planted and the lightning that is running through our veins. The universe in ecstatic motion. I wanna be here for every raw emotion. I can feel my soul remembering that nothing meant for me could ever pass me by. So I think I'll just enjoy the ride. Picking wildflowers, swimming in the ocean. The little things, laughing at nothing, living for the moment. Dancing wild and free in my bare feet, singing along to the songs on the radio. It's the little things. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. Picking wildflowers, swimming in the ocean. Laughing at nothing, living for the moment. Dancing wild
It's the little things. Ooh, it's the little things that mean the most. Thank you. How about it for this fabulous band? Woo!
Wow, Kristen, thank you. What a great song. I love the lyrics. One of my favorite things is singing in the car to the radio. Yes. And I won't say swimming in the ocean, but but laughing for no reason. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Let's give her another hand. Thank you. Thank you to our wonderful band. You're fabulous. You're fabulous, and our fabulous songbirds. We love you so much. It's time for our conscious committed giving. If my stewards would please come forward. I want to thank you in advance for your financial gifts. This center is fully supported by you. If this is your day to give, thank you. If this is your day to bless, there is a blessing card in the chair in front of you, and it says, "In deep gratitude for all of my blessings, I place this card in the basket. I ask that these offerings be blessed, appreciated, and multiplied. It is my honor to give my blessing in this way. Thank you, God, universe, spirit." So let us say our affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. Thank you.
Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your joy will light the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your peace will light the way.
As these offerings go out into our community, they are blessed, and I know that each recipient is lavishly blessed and prospered by these gifts. Thank you so much, and so it is. I saw a few new faces this morning, so if this is your first time guest here today visiting us, if you would like to raise your hand, we have a gift for you. It is a coupon. It's a bag, and it's a coupon in that bag, and you take it to the bookstore, and you get another gift. So right out here in front, Debbie, thank you. Let's welcome our guests this morning. Welcome. At our center, we have practitioners, which Dr. Alice referred to several times in her talk this morning. Practitioners are the ones who are trained in the art and the science of affirmative prayer. So we have a gift for you today. If you would like to have a short session with one of our practitioners, there's 2 tables in the back of the room, and we have a tranquility room in the back of the sanctuary. Please avail yourself to this. All of us sometimes hit a little, we live life. Life has bumps and ups and downs. So sometimes on the downs, we need to have somebody see our truth and see it clear for us. So our practitioners today are Kathy Story, Tony Sparks, and Patrick Freeman. Patrick has been holding the high watch for us this entire service, which means he's been praying for us, each one of us, for our minds and our hearts to be open to listen to all the words of wisdom. So thank you, Patrick. We also have volunteers that are always here, always working, always giving their seva and their service. So if you volunteered this week, please stand and we can give you some love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and now I believe it is time for our invitations.
Thank you very much for that rousing applause. So yesterday, Lynn and I are sitting on the couch, and we're watching the men's 400-meter relay race and swimming competition for the gold. We're standing there, and the guys are jumping out of the water, and I took one look at them and said, hey, I've got a body just like that in my dreams. And Lynn says, and in mine. Every once in a while. Conscious Connection meets today at 12 noon in the multi-purpose room. Everyone is invited to join the conversation about today's topic. We have 2 weekly yoga classes with instructor Mike Ward. One class is offered Monday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. and another class on Tuesday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. Bring your yoga mat and come on down. Love offerings are most graciously accepted. Friday, August 2nd, is game night. 5 p.m. for cards and 7 p.m. for dominoes. Bring snacks to share. You all know the drill. Next Sunday is the first Sunday potluck, followed by the sound healing with John and Tamzan Laurence. There they are. Yes. Where am I at? There. Suggested donation for the sound healing is $30 to $60. A movie night on the second Friday, August 9th. The movie will be Doctor Strange, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, one of the most popular actors in the world. Sunday, August 11th, Gina Walker will present a 2-hour workshop after the service. She's terrific. The title of her workshop is Elevate Your Energy, Raise and Praise Your Soul Frequency. Stay tuned for more information. For now, though, just mark your calendar and plan to be here to hear Gino perform during the service and plan to stay for the workshop. The second annual Talent Showcase is on August 30th, so all you talented people, get your names on the sign-up list on the kiosk. What are you waiting for? Yeah. Yeah. Carpe diem. Here are some weekly group gatherings. Wednesdays with Mary is a book study group from 9 to 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. They will finish the current book this week, and the next book is A Time for Grace by Carolyn Mace. Wednesday evening, the meditation group with Dr. Christian Steele, MD, meets from 6 to 8 p.m. Thursday morning, Shifting Sands meets from 10:30 to 12:30. This gathering is in person and on Zoom. Friday morning, the support group with Joyce Fournier meets on Zoom at 8 a.m. The Zoom links for these activities are now easily found on our brand new and improved website, in our newsletters that are emailed every Monday and Friday, and you can sign up on our website to be on the email list. You're also invited to take one of these colorful brochures home with you. Pick one up today on your way out. Okay, also, last thing, regarding my imminent retirement, I'm still looking for one or two more people to help and join our production team, Miracle Productions. If it's a good production, thank you so much. So please let me know if you're interested. We would like to have some more volunteers for our magical little production company. And now, if you wouldn't mind, please stand and sing your little hearts out.
Repeat after me. Thank you for this day. I have no complaints whatsoever. And so it is.